King Tut, learn it.
Hello everybody, this is King Tut here, and welcome to your 23rd C++ tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to take a break from object-oriented programming and go into pointers. And the reason why I'm doing pointers here is it's very useful for object-oriented programming, especially in functions and class. So to before we could actually implement pointers, we need to understand what pointers are. And pointers is a variable that stores the memory address of a normal variable. So to implement pointers, we need to first declare a normal variable. So let's do int number and set it equal to 8. And to put in a pointer, we put in the same data type that we use to store the memory address of the variable with the same data type, or else it's not going to work. So we put int because we want to store the memory address of number, and then instead of just putting in the variable name, we first put an asterisk and then the variable's name. And that's how you declare a pointer. So number memory. Let's set it equal to the memory address, which is shift 7, and it's an ampersand, and put the name of the variable that you want its memory address to be stored in. So number. So what it does is it stores the memory address of this into here. So let's output number memory. Whoops, not what I wanted. Let's end that line and let's run this. The reason why I have all these spaces over here is because I'm going to be showing you the functions and the class. Because I already typed it, I don't want to end up typing it during the video. And you see here, instead of getting 8, you get this combination of letters and numbers. That's called a memory address. That's literally a memory address of this. So what it did, it outputted the memory address of number. If you want number memory to show the value of number instead of its memory address, you just put an asterisk right here and then run your program. And you see here you got the value of number, which is 8. All right, let's take this all off and let me talk to you about pointers and functions. So in functions, what we use the phrase passing variable through just normally or through reference, through pointer. Passing value means you're just putting value into the parameter. Normally is you don't really use pointers or using the memory address of whatever variable. You're just putting your own value or a variable inside that variable of a function. Just a regular variable. So what we have here is I made valfunc, and it's a void function, so it doesn't return anything. And in the parameter is string name, so I can put whatever name it is. And I want to take this variable here that I put in there and change the name to Batman. So let's see what happens if I were to do that. So let's declare a string, and let's put n, so that way I don't have to worry about whether it's gonna conflict with the naming and so on and so forth. So string n equals Superman. And then let's use val func, and let's just put n. Let's see if it changed from Superman to Batman. And let's press OK. Oh, I didn't even... That's my bad. It's still Superman. It doesn't change from Superman to Batman. And you might think, well, what's the purpose of this? Well, it's really useful if you're trying to increment or decrement something, like say the number of frames or the keyframe you're in when you're doing animation, or you want to put in the array and you want to change its size, which you can't really, but there's one container that does that. A container is basically uh, different kinds of array variables, array data types, or that's what it's called. It's literally another word for arrays. It's kind of like data types, but for arrays. All right, so there's a container that can be flexible with the size, with the array size, and that's called a vector, and I'll show you in future tutorial. All right, so how do I fix this problem? How do I make this variable Superman, make this value Superman change to Batman using a function? Well, what we have here is you could pass a variable through reference. So to do that, to declare a variable, to make a parameter that allows you to pass a value through reference, you put in the data type, and then you put an ampersand, and then you just name whatever variable you want to name, appropriate to what you want it to do. And this sounds familiar. This looks familiar. This looks like the memory address of the normal variable that you stored into a pointer. And I mean, that's totally correct. That's the memory address. And what it does here, it puts Batman into the memory, into the value of name. And then once you put in a regular variable in it, it's set to equal the memory address of name. So it's technically acts like a pointer, but it's actually not a pointer. You could actually do that to a variable. So let's try that. Let's see. Okay, ref func. Okay, let's run this program. And let's see. And we got Batman as we hoped to have. So it took this, it took string n, and when it's passed through reference, the function changed Superman to Batman via its memory address. Another way, an alternative way to passing through reference, is passing through pointers. Pointers does the same thing. So you could actually declare a string variable and set it equal to a pointer. So that way it points to that memory address of this. It points to this variable. And then once it does that, you could actually put in whatever value you can put into that pointer, just crazy. Usually pointers are the memory address usually stores memory address, but technically this memory address is being stored into the pointer. So whatever you wanted to declare to assign it to name, that's fine, but it has to be based off of its appropriate data type. So let's do point. Let's just point func. All right, let's just take out the should. Oh, okay. Well, the reason why there's an error here is, like I said, pointers stores memory address of a variable of a normal variable. So this is why. So this is how it actually works. So once you put in the memory address of name, you set the memory address equal to this normal variable, and once that's done, this memory address here can be any value appropriate to the data type. So let's run this program. All right, so it actually took Superman and changed it to Batman, like we expect. And yeah, this simple example may not be useful. Like I said, you're gonna be incrementing, decrementing values, or changing the size of an array, and and the kind of variable that does that is flexible with increasing or decreasing size of the array. It's called vector, and I will show you vector in future tutorial once we're done with object-oriented programming. All right, let's get into class. So I already defined a class, so that way I don't have to do it freestyle and on video. It's already made for you to see. So what I did here is I declared a class called car, and I put all the functions in public. I put a constructor in destructor, and then in private I put I declared max speed and color int variable, and I declared the make string variable, so that we know what's the make of the car. And there's another way to declare a class. So let's put in car, put in asterisk, and C. That's called initializing a class variable or an object variable. So set it equal to new car, and that's pretty much it. And then you put in C, and instead of dot, well, right away Cevelop managed to make it dash arrow. So instead of a dot, you put a dash arrow, and then you can use whatever functions is in public. So let's make use of set make, and let's make the make, let's call it Ford. Oh, let's put C out. Let's output, and then you put the class variable name, and then you put the dash and the greater than sign, and then you put get make, so that way it outputs the make of the car that you've set for. So let's put in line, and then let's run this program. And what we got here is Ford, like we set the variable to be. Hope this video, hope this video is helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you really like my video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, BitChute, or BitTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're on Vlare, please follow my channel. If you're on Library, please follow my channel and download my video. And I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye!